Good morning, everybody. Actually, let me pull this back a little bit. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It may not be morning by the time this video uploads, but as you saw, hopefully you did, because I think it's still a good game. I posted a vlog where me and a couple of my friends went to a New York / Hudson River derby, right? It was between the two teams, the Red Bulls and New York City FC. Funny enough, I'm wearing the same outfit. Well, I am wearing the same outfit because I want to put my stance on what happened, and I want people to acknowledge it. What happened was we got to our seats, right? This is the first part of the experience. We got to our seats, no problem, right? We were at section 202, row 13, right? It was row 13. I think it was like seats 18 to 20. It was three of us, right? As you saw in the videos. We were sitting in the exact seats. The game was starting. We were pumped up. My friend was especially pumped up. And, you know, he was going to see his first Red Bull game. He's a Red Bulls fan. He's never been to a Red Bull game. And he was very excited about it. And to have that as like a rivalry thing, that's pretty darn cool. So so his first game might be tense, you know, because it's a rivalry game. It's supposed to be the two New York teams colliding against each other. Which color is the city? Is it red or is it blue? Not talking politically. I'm talking about the two teams' colors. Okay, because the Red Bulls, obviously, hence the name, they wear the color red, while NYCFC is wearing the color blue. So there's some brag rights against each other. Lately, Red Bulls had the upper hand against NYCFC, and now NYCFC has the upper hand against the Red Bulls, right? And then last season, the Red Bulls knocked NYCFC out of the playoffs in Queens, in the city. So there's definitely some high emotions with what's happening with this game going on. Us as a neutral, we were damn excited. The money was, it was okay. The prices were reasonable. It was still hard to get there, so it cost us a little bit more money, right? So anyway, got to our seats, pumped up, all that stuff I just talked about. Then this family, right? They're talking. They're somewhat a nice family, except for the one person. Was saying that, hey, are you in the right seats? I'm like, I'm sure I am. Or he started to, saying that you guys are at the wrong seats. Like, you sure we're at the right seats? Or like, this is not at like, he said, this is row 14. Like, this is row 14. How could it be row 14? I'm literally, like, I'm pretty sure this was row 13, right? So, us not knowing where the seats, well, now I got confused because now my mind's all over the place. We moved to different seats. We moved the row, like a row ahead, which ended up being row 12. So all this time, we were sitting there. I'm looking back. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure those are our seats. And the same guy was saying, what the fuck's your problem? So he started to curse at me. He was starting to raise his voice at me. He even asked me to show him the ticket. I showed him the ticket, and he was like, "We got the same tickets." I'm like, "How could it be possible?" And then I'm starting to get agitated. My anxiety's going up, and I was starting to become very pissed off. I was becoming pissed off at the situation, but I looked at the game like, I'm just gonna watch the game and just go it as normal. Eventually, the people that were supposed to use the seats, the row ahead when we were supposed to, ended up coming to seats that we were in, and the fact that they were assigned these seats, and I feel horrible for those people that we were sitting at their seats. So, we had to move again. We had to move another row down, and thankfully, those seats were not occupied. The problem, at least in my section, the problem is this. There's two problems. There was no security, and probably worst of all, right? Okay, I have to bring up security in a few minutes. There was no security, and probably worst of all, in that instance, worst of all, no ushers. And if you've never been to an event, college event, concerts, or a sporting event, Ushers are basically the people that guide you to your seats. They point you in the direction like, hey, you're supposed to go up this, and there's like a rows up. That's an usher. But in that arena in Harrison, right, there was no ushers. There was no usher in our area, our section. There was none. I don't think there was even an usher in 204 because we were at 202. I have seen no ushers at all. And for me being a big sports person, I don't want to miss the game. I do not want to miss the game that was happening right in front of our eyes because the game was actually a very competitive game. It was actually a competitive game, and I was loving the game itself. I'm not loving the situation that we were currently in, especially for my friends' first soccer game at Red Bull Arena, especially if it's a rivalry game. Halftime came. I'm looking for somebody. I thought I found someone, but he ends up he's the guy that ends up selling food, and the security was down that way in front of all the people that are crossing through. And he told me this when there's like, I think there was like 2 minutes, 3 to 2 minutes left before halftime ends. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get to the security and then back in time before I get back to the seats I'm currently wanting to be. I got back up, and mind you, the place was packed. It was almost sold out. It was so packed you couldn't believe it. It was almost as packed as if this team and all the Messi fans, including Inter Miami fans, were at that stadium as well. So there was no way I could get to the security in time. And where the hell were the ushers? So I got back up, I counted the rows, and I looked at the family again, and I know for damn sure those were our seats. And the problem is there was no usher to help, no security at all in that region alone. I had to literally go a different part of the stadium, which is like a few sections down, which might not be too much. But when I'm finally told this, it was 2 minutes left before halftime ends. So I am really pissed off at that point. We sit down to the random seats. Thankfully, they were never occupied, so we were able to be comfortable, at least. Second half starts. Very entertaining second half. There was VAR, 10 minutes of stoppage time, right? And the game ends 3-2 in favor of NYCFC, as you probably saw in the vlog. Now, then here comes the second part, leaving the stadium, right? So, NYCFC fans, I'm not going to name them, but I'm going to say in the general sense, very happy. Very happy they get to speak their minds, speak their piece, trolling, trash talking, New York is blue. Okay, all that shenanigans and all that type of thing. Okay, we're just letting them be. We're just letting them be, walking past, and then going down the stairs back to the first section because we had to exit the stadium, right? We were going to walk past this couple, and this couple was, trash talking, because that's what I'm saying, right? New York is blue and all that type of thing. They looked at us, right? And let me just say this real quick. I'm wearing this jersey right now. This is the jersey that I'm currently wearing and when I wore it at the game. My other friend was wearing pink. He was wearing the Messi jersey, right? They did, okay. This is my fault in my part, but that's also their fault. Let me explain what happened. When they saw us, not a word, right? They looked at us and they did this to us, right? They flipped the bird. They flipped the bird on me, on my friends, for those who are not wearing a blue jersey. So, I retaliated. I didn't, retaliate is a strong word. I fought back. I trolled back. How about you can have this? And I respectfully reminded them of a 4-0 loss, the beatdown that we gave them on Wednesday night at Citi Field. I reminded them of that, right? I'll even show videos and give it a reminder that Messi's the GOAT and your team is garbage. Okay, that is an all trash talk type of thing. I forgot the exact words, but I definitely reminded them of a 4-0 defeat that they suffered against Inter Miami, right? And I was there for it. Okay, and I forgot the exact words, but my friend comes in and said something. I forgot what it was. He said something, and this is something that I'll never forget. And I should have went to security for it right then and there. I probably should have went to the police, to be honest. The same guy, right? Not the family. By the way, the person that was cursing me earlier, he ended up going to different seats. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyway, the different person, right? This is the all different person altogether. My friend said something. I forgot what he said. He might have said something. Oh no, he definitely said something that I forgot. He had a full bag of popcorn, right? Pretend this is the popcorn bag, right? Raises up and pours it over my friend. He pours it over my friend for basically being a troll factor and being an asshole, right? Poured almost a full bag of popcorn on my friends. And on my other friend, who his first Red Bulls game, witnessed all of it. At that moment, I lost my cool. I actually lost my cool, because why would you do that to somebody that isn't even rooting for the team? How fucking dare you, pouring popcorn all over my friend for saying something, and you poured popcorn. I was so livid. I actually was trying to grab the popcorn out of him and pour it on him, see how he liked it, but I didn't. He ended up holding the popcorn, as he should, because I was so enraged, so pissed off, ready to... At that point, I had to really refrain myself from doing something I regret. But I was screaming at him. I was screaming at this person for doing that to my friends. Literally, right up in his face. Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking motherfucker. And if he's watching this, I will fucking... If I see you again, I will definitely pour popcorn all over you. Because you did that to my friends. And honestly, that's shameful. That is really shameful, what you did. All because he's wearing a pink jersey. So, okay, I'm really livid at this point, as I really didn't want it to, and now I'm saying things that I'm regretting, right? I lost my cool. I said things to him. We walked out, and I really should have went to security, but I was so enraged, so angry. We just left the stadium. I let him go. I honestly let the guy go. I could have easily went to security if I have known that it was actually a crime. I didn't know it was actually a crime. I thought it was more of a troll factor. Because if there was intent, which there was, that's a crime. You see what I'm trying to say? He didn't deserve this. And my friend who went through his first Red Bulls game, suffering a loss like that, first off, the game, that's part of the game. The game itself had nothing to do with the situation that we went through. So he had to go through defeat. And then to see his friends be bullied, pour popcorn all over, that's horse shit. So yeah, that was our experience. And I was so enraged. I was enraged all the way back home. I barely got sleep because of it. The experience was horrible. So if you're going to go to a rivalry game, especially if it's a New York derby, be careful. Be very careful who you talk to, and be careful where you're sitting, and show them the tickets right to their freaking faces and let them know, yeah, I bought this ticket my own fucking money. I don't care if you have a family, go find your own seats. And for fuck's sake, in Red Bull Arena, where the fuck were the ushers? Why do I have to go downstairs to find security? There should have been security around. Chase Stadium had security around. Citi Field, they had stuff right there. Yankee Stadium, ushers everywhere. You see my point? Even the cheapest stadium like Lone Depot Park, they have ushers and security everywhere. They don't even let us go to different seats because we're supposed to abide by the rules and go to our assigned seats. That's the rule. But no, some people walk in that stadium like they own it, make up their own rules, which is bullshit. And pouring popcorn all over my friend was the last straw. I am done with that shit. The experience was horrible. The game was good. The experience was horrible. All I'm asking is to be vigilant, be aware of the surroundings when you're going to a game, especially if it's a rivalry game. If you're going to the regular game, there shouldn't be too much problems, right? There's no rivalry intent in any way. But if in this case, in this situation, where it is a rivalry game, boy, you better be vigilant and keep your cool, because I was not. I did not keep my cool with this guy that poured popcorn on my friend. I didn't do anything to him. All I did was scream at him. That's all I did. That is all I did. I was gonna snatch popcorn and pour his head. I was. So there's my confession on that. But I didn't do it. I did not do it because one, he held his popcorn as tight as he could, and two, literally after that, I refrained myself from doing anything really stupid. Okay, then it gets me in trouble. It gets my friends in trouble. When that person should have been in trouble. But I did not go to security. I didn't even go to the police. That's my fault on that part. And also, too, with all that crazy, all that stuff that I had to do afterwards, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So, yeah, there you go. There's my story. What happened a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's my experience. The experience was horrible. I hated it. I think Red Bull Arena should have done a little bit better regarding ushers and security, because you shouldn't have to walk a few sections just to get security. You shouldn't have to. There should be security around. Getting back home was a pain in the ass too. Getting there and back is a pain in the ass too. So you can imagine even more frustrations going home, taking the path and all that type of shit. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway, no funny videos. I just thought I'd let you know about the experience, and also too, the style editing. That is not how I edit. I normally put mostly everything in. All the clips I recorded don't even go into vain. I mostly put everything in, but I was so enraged, so upset. I didn't want to put the full thing in. I just put the goals and I just put the goals in. I didn't even do a halftime talk. Normally in these cases, I do a halftime talk. I didn't do a halftime talk. I did not do a halftime talk because of the fact that I couldn't get to my actual seats. Because the person was stubborn to give us back our seats. And that's the problem. That's not my fault. Understand this. It is not how I edit my videos. I normally edit with passion, but I didn't. I had no passion with this video. All right, I'm done ranting. There was a situation after that with the Red Bull player being racially slurred. That's bullshit. Nobody should be racially slurred at all. So fuck that person for being an absolute racist scumbag towards the Red Bull player. And their own fan base too. That's fucked up. Okay? That is so fucked up. I understand your team lost, but if you are racist towards the player, you should never be allowed back in the stadium ever again. Ever again. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm sorry for my rambling, sorry for my rant, sorry for me being angry, but that's the story. That is a story. That's the full story behind the scenes with the game and the experience of the game. It was not good. I had a bad time. My friend absolutely had a bad time. So you could imagine how he felt when the popcorn's being poured all over him. Could you imagine how he felt? He was just as enraged as I was. My friend was perplexed by all of it and dumbfounded. It's crazy. This should have never happened, especially in his first Red Bull game. So one of these days, I'm gonna probably go back to that stadium, not a rivalry game, and maybe the experience is a little bit more enjoyable. But for fuck's sakes, let there be ushers and security around the stadium. They're not that cheap, okay? They're not that cheap of a team. They made it to the MLS Cup final, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm done. That's it for this video. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. It's now 12:01 p.m., about to be 12:02 in just a second. There it is. And that's it. Everybody have a good rest of the day. More funny videos coming out tomorrow. And, man, all right, that's going to do it. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.